to Rise in Red, the official SFU hockey podcast presented by Scoff's Hockey Shop and Choppy's Meat Market and Deli. Nick Torn alongside Mark Coletta, producer Jake here with you, and another episode and another few games. How you feeling, Mark?
Well, it's one of those things where you kind of feel empty a bit after two losses in games. I believe we should have won both. And
wow,
that's tough to swallow a bit. And I think you got to be honest and assess where we were at. And I think we were playing really well. Not to say we didn't play well in those games. I mean, we had the lead with 9-10 minutes going into 9-10 minutes left in the third versus LIU on the first night. And we played well. We just couldn't figure out a way to finish that game off, and a couple of mistakes and just a bit of that loosey-goosey attitude set in. Maybe we could have done a better job as a coaching staff to nip that in the butt. But, we had a great week of practice going in. We knew the game plan. We know what LIU brings to the table, and we just couldn't close it off. And then the disappointing part is you go into the Sunday game against Arcadia, which is a good D3 program. They're working their way up the ladder. And again, you think, you're a little bit wishy-washy in how things are going. And again, you're always fighting from behind. You're battling back to score goals to tie it, give up a goal, then try to tie it. I just thought it was, again, one of those games that we let slip away because of guys just being a little loose. And again, it is what it is. There's a little bit of a challenge to win games when you're on the road, and you have to figure out how to get over that hump. And we just didn't do it. But coming back was tough. I think the boys enjoyed the trip. They got to see some things that they didn't get to see. The day in New York was a good bonding day for them. A bunch of them went to the Ranger game. Some of us got to see some old friends and old teammates and stuff like that. So, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to win hockey games. And at the end of the day, we lost those games, and we took that out and worked hard the last week here in practice. And even though we don't play again till the 30th, they understood there were some consequences about losing games.
Yeah, I just want to kind of ask you, that 3-1 loss to Long Island University, then a 5-4 loss to Arcadia. Both games, as you said, were close until the very end. And what I'm finding with most of the SVU games this year is you guys are in it and are winning after the first two periods, and the third period, that's when it all fall apart. Is that a result of maybe just the NCAA? They play for 60 minutes, and maybe, we're used to maybe different leagues where they don't go the full 60 minutes, or you've already won within that time frame. But have you noticed that it's the third period that seems to be the downfall right now?
Yeah, we chat with our guys a bit. We're hard on them, and we're pretty open and honest with them, and we don't really try to sugarcoat anything. And maybe honesty sometimes hurts, but it's the truth. And I said to the guys the other week in a team meeting after we got back and kind of addressed some issues, I said, let's not forget, in every game besides Michigan, which Michigan's Michigan, we've been either tied or had the lead in the third period. And we're playing some pretty good teams as a team that's not funded. And what I mean by not funded, I mean, we're not at the Division I level. Scholarships and funding at that level. We don't have all the amenities of those programs. And we've been doing pretty close, if not just as good as some of these programs. And I think that goes unnoticed because the results aren't where they need. But the guys need to pat themselves on the back because they've worked hard. And the results will come. But there's just that little mental gap, that preparedness, that sticking to the system and really bearing down in times when you need to. It's almost like the situation where you could say about a goaltender, whether it's soccer or hockey, whatever sport has a goaltender in it, and you could say, well, he made a lot of big saves. He or she made a lot of big saves, but he let in a soft one, right? The soft one is the one that kills you. He can make 20 glove saves and kick saves and whatever you want to make, but if you let in that cheap one, that kills you. And I'm just using that as an analogy. So a lost faceoff or a missed assignment late in the third period really crushes you, and then that belief and that motivation part kind of dies down a bit. and I think our guys got to figure that out.
Yeah, no, it wasn't necessarily a knock. It's just something you notice. But they've played well. They've played well in the games, and it's there's still a whole mess of games to come up. And now looking ahead, we have a lot of big games. We still have one more game for you left in this calendar year of 2023, and that's December 30th against Trinity Western, and that's always a fun game, and that should be a really good one, Mark.
Yeah, playing against the local rivals, TW and UBC is always important for us. It's a measuring stick. They're doing some good things at the U Sport level. We're recruiting in the same area. We're fighting for players. So you want to make sure you put your best foot forward, not only for the players, for the parents, for families choosing what school they want to go to. And hockey is that thing that maybe pushes guys over the edge to come and play. And if we can do some good things on all fronts, academically and resources and facilities, and bring people in and then be competitive at that level is important. Now, the game alone is going to be heated, it's going to be testy. Guys know each other. There's no love lost between Trinity Western and SFU stemming back to the BCHL days. These are games we want to win. When you play UBC and Trinity Western, it's kind of like, those rivalry games in the US on the football side. They can, if Ohio State lost every game but beat Michigan, it's almost a successful season. I mean, if you look at what happened a couple of weeks ago on the football side, their coach is like 95% winning percentage, but he lost the Michigan game and they want to fire him. So I mean, I think that those rivalries mean something, and Trinity's down the road. We're here, and it's going to be a good game.
College sports, there is honestly nothing like it. But looking ahead into the new year, and these are where some of the biggest games in program history are going to happen. Starting with Boston University, BU, the Terriers. They're currently 11-4-1. They're the number 2 seed, it seems like, or the tied at the number 2 seed as of December 4th. You might not see these players at this game because the World Junior Hockey Championships will be going on, but the presumptive number 1 overall pick, Macklin Celebrini, playing for Canada, Tom Olander, the Vancouver Canucks first-round pick of last year, and Lane Hudson, the 2022 second-rounder for the U.S. on BU. You might not see them, but that's still a pretty talented team that's with them even not there.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there will be a Celebrini in the lineup with Aiden, and yes, he's pretty good himself. Canuck pick. I see a Celebrini every week with my son, RJ, at the U12 level. So there's Celebrini and a Coletta connection somewhere here. Yeah, it's going to be fun to go to BU. I mean, historic college hockey program. Jackie Parker, historic coach. The area, college hockey's huge there. Obviously having that team with Macklin and Willander and Hudson already is huge. It's going to be tough no matter what. Maybe it's a good thing that those guys aren't in the lineup. There'll be a World Juniors, so good on them. And it's going to be real cool for our guys to play. And our guys better be ready. That's for sure.
Then we go on to staying in that area. The Boston College, the Eagles, Thatcher Demko's alma mater for the Canucks. They're 12-3-1. They are also tied at second as of December 4th in the NCAA. They got quite a few World Junior Hockey players in that game, and I believe they're all in the U.S. So, Jacob Fowler, Drew Fortescue, Cutter Gauthier, Ryan Leonard, Gabe Perreault, and Will Smith all likely will not be in the lineup.
Perfect.
You never know. They're good teams.
Great.
So
it's really, I'm really. You know what? I'm happy for them. They're at the World Junior Tournament. It's a great event for them to be at. And so we'll have to face off against another top end team, and our guys again better be ready, because I would imagine they're going to have guys chomping at the bit to play that might not get a lot of ice time when those guys are there. And this is what college sports is about. There's trying to make a name for yourself when opportunity arises. And we're in no different situation. We got a lot of senior guys leaving next year. So some of our young guys in the second semester here are going to have to prove themselves that they can play at this level. So it's the old adage, right? You have to take advantage and kick the door down when you have it. And so those guys are gone. Maybe good for us. We have to play hard, and we're going to have to play tough, and we're going to have to meet that emotion right away on back-to-back nights against two of the maybe arguably best college university, NCAA Division I universities in the country.
Pretty
Let's
close.
figure it out here. We've played Michigan, Colorado College, BU, BC, Providence all in one year. Like, I don't think there's many D1 teams who have those guys on their schedule. So, not sure that was a smart idea by me, but nobody ever said I was smart. But we'll figure it out.
Well, you mentioned the Providence game just announced. Providence, the
Yes.
Friars, 9-4-2. They're currently ranked ninth in the NCAA. Draft picks who I can only remember is Mark Jankowski that year, many years ago when the Calgary Flames took him.
They've had some good players though.
They
Tanev's
have
brother, Gillies the goalie, lately, anyways. Yeah.
yeah,
Lou Lamoriello.
Lou Lamoriello. I think Brian Burke as
Brian
well.
Burke.
So great hockey school.
Awesome.
And quite. I mean, just announced. How did that come about?
I think they saw we were coming out. They needed a game because they have a long break. I'm somewhat friends with a couple of guys here and there through email or whatever, and they reached out and asked if they'd play, and Nate Lehman and Beal have been really generous and said they'd host us, and okay, let's do this. I mean, how many times do you get to play these kind of teams in one calendar year? And for our guys, for our seniors, especially are going out, these are something they'll never forget. And yeah, it might be tough 3-3, but Jason Krog kind of laughed at a couple of the guys the other day in the dressing room saying, "Oh, you think we'll be okay playing, coach?" And Krog's like, "How about playing in the East Coast or the American League where sometimes you play 4 and 5? Like, figure it out, guys. Like, you're college athletes. You don't turn down games like this." And that's the attitude we need. And our guys are starting to figure that out. And that makes you strong. It's going to be tough. But yeah, they came to the bat. Nate Lehman's been a big proponent of college hockey. He supports everything we're doing. And obviously a world junior hockey coach, and he won a national title a bunch of years ago. Real cool. We were there a bunch of years ago and took a wallop, but cool arena, cool spot. I mean, that whole area of the Massachusetts and Rhode Island, just history is all over there from, the American Revolution and all that stuff. It's a cool spot to be. So we're excited.
I gotta say that is pretty noticeable for this program when they reach out to us. Yeah, you may know somebody, but that's still huge for this program. That's pretty exciting year coming ahead. We should just mention with the BCIHL team, they'll be playing in the Tom Harris Showcase over in Nanaimo. They're going to be playing teams like SAIT, the South Alberta Institute of Technology, Korea University, which is a really cool story, and Concordia of Edmonton, who's defeated UVic twice already this year. Should be a fun tournament.
Yeah, they've done well. I mean, they've a lot of turnover with those guys. Mark and Stewie have done a good job of patching it up and bringing it together. And those kids are having a great opportunity. Again, student athletes at SFU playing competitive hockey. And, hopefully we'll have Mark on here to give us some thoughts on his first year as coach of the BCIHL team. And then I think they get some transfers coming in and some reinforcements, let's just say, to the lineup coming in at Christmas. So they should be ready to go.
Perfect. Hopefully we'll see that, and hopefully, we'll get Mark on the podcast shortly.
Do we have an All-American on attendance?
This is incredible.
An All-American joining us for the hot stove. All right.
Now we're moving on to our dump and change segment, and we got our Jeff Marshall in again with a friend on the frame who I'm not sure who that is. Why don't you explain who you are?
Yeah, thanks for having me back. Appreciate the Domino's coupon, guys. Real nice touch. But yeah, I'll pass it over to my guest here tonight.
Yeah, long-time listener, friend of the show.
Yeah, love it.
Old roommate of Mark Coletta. Learned a lot from Mark. What a great coach. Played at Plattsburgh State. Learned from these guys. So
yeah, Jason Kilcan is, I guess, having some Christmas cheer, which is great to have Christmas cheer at this time of year, family and friends. But Jason Kilcan, let me tell you, is an All-American, Plattsburgh State Hall of Famer, and he could add probably some good insight here on our couple of talking points here.
All right, well, you mentioned it. Let's get into those talking points.
Thanks,
and
I'm excited.
You should be, because these are pretty interesting topics, actually. And one that I think I have opinions on is the shrinking gap between Canada and USA hockey, and I'm going to just start this off and say the gap isn't shrinking, the gap has shrunk, and they might be ahead.
Hot take.
Oh, hot take. Hot take.
Hot take. Yeah.
You played down there for a bit, and after your Plattsburgh days, what do you think?
I agree. I mean, let's go. Why don't we, let's see. You said the gap's closed, so hopefully you're prepared for this segment because we know it's not your forte. I think when you started the goaltending, you can go definitely the U.S. has got the edge there. When you think of Hellebuck, Jake Ottinger, Demko, who's in your backyard, guys. I saw him live recently. I thought he was awesome. Even let's go a fourth guy who I think is pushing those three, the Wall in Toronto.
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
let's get the
fact.
Let's get the Leaf talk in here early. He's great.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the goaltending, spot on, buddy. I think you're right. I think the Canadian team is going to break out Frank Caprice. I mean, I don't know who else we got, right? Like, I don't know.
Danny Legacy. Remember him in the World Juniors? He was unbelievable.
Maybe Frank Pietrangelo. Frank Pietrangelo comes out of retirement. I don't know.
Justin Pogge. World Junior legend, Justin Pogge.
There you go.
I mean, even if you look at the defense, Adam Fox, Cam York, Quinn Hughes. Who's on Canada? Cale Makar? Like, who's in Canada? Like, all our Canadian stars are
Cale Makar. So we still have the best team.
Cale Makar.
Pietrangelo.
He's 30-something.
True.
So, whoa. I'm 45. Could still play D3. That's
three of the Americans I just listed are like 25 and under.
I have to say,
I could still catch on at New England College.
You might be right though in the defensive end too. I don't know. I think you're right. TSN had it on. I think Canada's. It's going to be tight. If they had a best on best, it'd be tight.
I wouldn't necessarily say NHL level is it's closer, but definitely in the juniors, it's a mess.
We're going to see in a week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll give credit. U.S. development program, I'll give them credit, right? They're bridging the gap. They're playing together all year. These guys all come together later after playing junior college hockey. Yeah, they're all familiar with each other. I think a little more so than Canadians, right?
I just feel like after, every year felt like Canada, whatever the tournament was, you felt like Canada was going to win. And now every time I play the U.S., I'm like,
Well, at least it's competitive. For a while, you didn't.
I agree.
Like, it's nice now that we're not always going to win. I like that. But I
completely agree with that.
And the best college hockey player I've seen this year is from Florida.
Yeah,
Seamus Casey from the University of Michigan.
Wow, you're still a big fan of the University of Michigan.
Love it, man.
He hasn't stopped talking. You see his bedroom.
Just ordered my. I was just gonna say, I'm hoping I get it for Christmas. Number 26. Hope I get the jersey.
You got a Nick Wicks jersey coming your way too,
buddy. Number 24.
Yeah,
you got the number right.
I just got the Christmas card from the Wicks family.
Wicks
Real nice,
solid,
real nice family.
Good leader too. Great leadership skills.
Yeah, I have to agree with some of the American pundits. What's his name on Spitting Chicklets said the U.S. has closed the gap.
Matthews, look up front. Matthews, Hughes. There's they're dialed, man. The Brinkat, I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, you got to throw him in the mix. Kane back, wheeling and dealing, maybe.
After McDavid, McKinnon, Stamkos is on his way to better
Marner,
days.
you have Mitchie from Toronto, another good Toronto boy. We got him. Domi, he could play.
No, Lord.
I throw Domi on that team.
Hey, look, the best American player is JT Miller. He's right here in our backyard. Right
Morgan Riley makes the team. There's another Leaf for you.
Yeah, but here's the thing I'm just noticing. All the Canadians you're listing are 26, 27, 28, 30.
Prime.
Like we're old. Prime, you could say prime. I don't think Morgan Riley's in his prime. Morgan Riley's on the decline.
Oh, no,
mature. He's mature.
No, my goodness.
Boy, I like Torrance takes. I like him.
This guy's hot taking me, man. No chance.
He's been the only Leafs defender for how many years now?
Well,
he's got to be dying.
No, he's loving it, man. He's loving his life.
Okay.
Oh, we have another special guest. Do we have time for one more?
Well, I don't know.
Port Alberni All-Star, number 8, Jax Wismer is going to join the pod.
Yeah, come on in. Sit down.
Jax, just the welcome.
How's it going?
All right. Okay.
How did we get a BCHL in here?
NCAA Division I commit. We're talking U.S., Canada, and the gap. And how close it is at the Olympic level. What are your thoughts?
U.S. and Canada?
Yeah. Do you think the gap's closed?
I don't know. I think goaltending U.S. has us for
That's
sure.
what I said.
We mentioned it.
Defensively, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank right now. I don't know. I'm trying to think about
That's
players.
okay.
They got it. They got it.
No, I'm gonna stage fright here, but
Don't worry about it. The four of us are the ones that are listening.
But
I think USA has a little bit of a bite.
This is the Cleveland
wait,
Indians
Zio,
broadcast.
you think US? You think
Speaking
you
of
think,
no one's listening.
You think that US is gonna beat Canada?
I think they could.
I think they
they
do too.
they have a good chance.
I think the threat is real as well. I agree.
I think when you have Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, and Sidney Crosby on a team, I think it's pretty hard to beat those
And
guys
Marner.
by themselves. Never mind when they're on the same team.
Any given Sunday, you know. But yeah, okay. So since you're here, you're of the younger generation, as we can say. Let's move on to the hitting in minor hockey, or the lack thereof. Apparently, I didn't play hockey growing up, so I don't know what you say, atom and bantam, and I'm like, what are you talking about? It's so much easier in other sports. But okay, so you can't hit until what age? 50?
You can't. Yeah, in Ontario at least, it works different in different provinces, but
Sure.
you can't hit. I think it's like 15 now.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I don't know how much he knows about hitting. I don't know.
I never
damn.
That's true.
It's
Very
been passed
true.
on a generation to
Never
myself
threw
as
one.
well. But
Just saw my old stats in junior. I think I had 14 PIMs one year. That's 7 minors.
The hitting starts in bantam now, which is
yeah.
Okay.
which is grade 8.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how did you? So you say you played in the BCHL. You might be going to the NCAA, and how did that prepare you for not? If you haven't hit for so long, and now all of a sudden you've had to learn it in a quick, short amount of time, and like, how is that? Do you think that's affected your game at all?
I don't think so. I think I don't know. I know back in when you played
In the 90s?
Yeah, I didn't want to get back.
I just say it.
Yeah.
No, in the 90s.
I think it was hitting all the way up.
Yeah, and minor Pee Wee started. So
Yeah,
that
so
would've
just a tiny bit earlier than I guess my generation, but I don't know. I think it's. I don't know if it's that big of a difference.
Well, no, I ran into a guy at the rink the other day. It was like, I think they should start hitting right away, because then it doesn't make it doesn't become like a thing. It's like, it's always part of the game, and you just you never.
I think it's pretty.
But I agree. I don't think anyone hits anymore. Like, I went to the Leaf game, and I mean, the Leafs were ready to, but I don't see like.
I think it's more
on
so
your level.
No, I think it's more so at like when you get to the junior level, it's more like getting ready for a 21-year-old with a beard telling you he's gonna kill you, and you're like, oh, this is I can't wait to see how this goes. I think it's more so like the fighting that you're like, oh, like this is something I wish I would have been prepared for. I think you're surprised with how many guys can't handle themselves. I guess in a level where you can start fighting, and it becomes a bit of a slideshow pretty quickly.
Fair enough. I'd say you're right. The Leafs don't hit, but they get hit a lot, and they don't do anything about it.
This guy.
Yeah, I think they start way too late for the hitting, to be honest, and then the kids just go out thinking it's a free for all.
Yeah.
So what would you do then?
Yeah. Great question.
I think they should tailor make it to being a little younger again, and let the kids learn how to either checking instead of hitting, maybe a little different. I know I've seen some kids, they're doing introduction to hitting now, and these kids just fly around the ice trying to kill kids. Then you have your kids who are jumping into the second year who've never hit. The guys have a year ahead of them, and they're just blasting each other, and it's really not the best way to introduce hitting to grade 7s. But that's my, I don't know. Again, I think you just got a lot of kids who are just going out there just trying to kill each other instead of actually playing hockey.
Yeah, what the point of the game is. Agreed.
Yeah.
Fair enough that those Don Cherry's Rock'em Sock'em whatevers they're not really a thing anymore.
They should be.
Hit, man. I used to want every year at a Christmas. What a treat that was to get.
It's just absolutely. I got a few of them, and
Awesome.
Right in your stocking stuffer for old Jeffy.
Yeah, little stocking stuffer for little Jeffy.
The Canucks are hot right now.
Sweet. Enough of Vancouver sports scene.
What are the Leafs doing?
Doing what they always do. They're doing great.
Oh yeah, Sheldon keeps throwing F-bombs on the ice.
Oh, he's at the buffet.
Yeah, he could be there too. Yeah, he's filling in that shirt.
And he's getting something to eat.
All right. Well, I guess that does it for Dump in Change. And thanks, Jeff, and all the other people that joined us on the other side.
Yeah, lots of action going on there.
Lots of action.
Again.
Yeah, we'll be back soon on the podcast. And thanks for everyone for joining us. We'll see you soon.
All right, guys. All the best. Keep it up.
I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. We don't have to air that. We can cut that out. You can edit it. We'll get Jeff back on solo. I don't know what was going on there.